Venerable Dhammasami was born in 1964, the seventh of 10 children in the town of Laika in Shan State. His father was a classical Shan scholar. He was also a herbalist, and he would go into the forest gathering herbs to make into remedies. His mother was illiterate because she was never sent to school, but she was a traditional singer and would give impromptu performances. She was a powerful force in the family, encouraging all her children to strive for a good education. Shan State is on a high plateau bordering China, Thailand and Laos, covering a quarter of the Union of Myanmar. It is rich in teak and mineral resources. Their home in Laika on the river Pui, one of the 3 rivers feeding the town, was surrounded by rice fields. It is a provincial capital of beautiful temples and pagodas. Here we can see the old palace of the Laika royal family, which was offered to the Sangha, becoming a temple. The whole town is served by water from an irrigation project created more than a century ago by the town's Shan ruling prince called Chaofa. Kamai's mother was strict. When he'd go upstairs, he had to tiptoe, being careful not to make a noise in case she would scold him. So when he left home to live in the monastery, he relished the freedom and the opportunity to play with all the other boys. It was in the monastery that he received his education, and it was here that he discovered a love of books and learning. But at the same time, this freedom was in the context of a very clear monastic routine, and this gave him a sense of security. His mother was not far away, and his great-aunt was also a nun there, so he didn't miss home at all. In fact, he says that he feels sorry for the other children who had to wait until they were 18 before they left home. Every evening, the abbot would give them teachings after Buddha Puja, and then they would be dismissed, line by line. The little ones would be dismissed first. They would file out of the hall, where they would run around and let off steam before the other boys joined them. Later on, he moved to the Pitaka Monastery in Panglong, the headquarters of the Shan State Sangha Council and the home of the Tipitaka translation into Shan. He stayed there less than 6 months. When he was 9.5, he went to the Veruwan Monastery in Taungi, where he studied the syllabus in Burmese for the whole Shan State Buddhist exams held in Yongwei, famous for its inlay lake, and whose ruling prince became the first president of the newly independent Burma. A year later, he joined his 3 older brothers who were also novices in the best teaching monastery in Shan State, called Genji in Yangwei. After 5 years, he moved to the Sasana Manding Pali University in Pegu, which was much bigger and one of the top 10 teaching monasteries. In Pegu, Venerable Dhammasami was influenced by the other high-achieving students. He studied hard, and while he was still a novice, he gained the highest level in Pali studies, a remarkable achievement for his age, especially as he was already a popular teacher of Pali to other monks. In 1985, he was the only novice in the whole country to have graduated with a Dhammacharya degree in the government exams. During the end of the year vacations, he chose not to visit his parents. Instead, he would go to Yangon and quietly study English. Later on, he went to Thailand, where he taught Pali near the border in Chiang Mai province for 2 years. Then on to Bangkok, where he improved his English further, and this opened up the opportunity for him to go to Sri Lanka in 1991. He was the first Shan monk since the 1960s to make this journey, and following this, many other monks, many of them from Shan State, felt encouraged to follow in his footsteps. In Sri Lanka, he studied further, taking 2 MAs in Buddhist studies in English and also an MPhil, while also teaching. It was while he was there that he met a monk, Venerable Galayaya Pidasi, from the Saddhatissa International Buddhist Centre, a Sri Lankan vihara in North London. In 1996, he invited him to come and teach meditation and Sunday school there. Life at the vihara was busy. He taught Sunday school and started to teach meditation to anyone who came to the vihara. This was where he started instructing Westerners, adapting his teaching to make sense to those from a non-Buddhist background. It was very unusual for such a learned monk to also be so skilled in teaching meditation, and he rapidly gained a place in everyone's hearts. He published some of his teachings on meditation in 2 books before the year 2000. This led to many invitations to people's homes, teaching the Dhamma to both parents and children, and also running retreats. After 4 years, Venerable Dhammasami gained a place at St Anne's College, Oxford University, to take a PhD under Professor Richard Gombrich, Bowdoin Professor of Sanskrit and an internationally known scholar on Theravada Buddhism. His research covered monastic education and its history from the 17th century to the present in Burma and Thailand. In the last year of his PhD, he set up the Oxford Buddha Vihara with the help of Venerables Panyawamsa, Mahasena, Nanda Meda, Badiya, Mahasomchai, Mahajirabandhu and Sumana. It was just in a little rented house. Soon, so many people were coming to hear him teach that they had to find somewhere larger and were able to buy their first property, a 5-bedroom semi-detached house. Not only this, but a branch monastery was set up in Singapore as well. Some would ask, how could a monk from such a simple background become such an inspiring teacher so far from home? People were drawn by his warmth and compassion, and also the clarity of his teaching. There was always a warm welcome at the vihara where everybody could feel comfortable and included. Venerable Dhammasami always emphasizes the fact that Dhamma is for everyone, Western, Thai, Burmese, Sri Lankan, everyone. Throughout this time, Venerable Dhammasami continued his academic life, organizing the Vesak celebrations, including one to mark the 2,550 years of Mahaparinibbana at Mahachulalongkorn Buddhist University, and serving as Secretary General for the International Council for the UN Day of Vesak. As well as this, he has been publishing papers, organizing and attending conferences, as well as setting up various organizations, including the International Association of Buddhist Universities and the Association of Theravada Buddhist Universities. He has also received many honours, such as the Agamaha Saddhamma Jyotika Daja from the Burmese government and an honorary PhD from Mahachulalongkorn University. On the 23rd of November this year, he laid the first stone on the Buddhist University of Shan State. This is the fulfillment of a dream he has had for many years. In Shan State, the excitement has been palpable, as so many monks have been working hard so that the university will become a centre of academic excellence. Indeed, the library is already growing fast, as Venerable Dhammasami has sent books from around the world. He has always encouraged the publication of books in the Shan language, and this year there will be 50 books available for free distribution, an exciting development for the Shan people. For some time he has been supporting summer schools in his hometown, and scholarships have been made available to students, enabling them to carry on with their studies. This year, Venerable Dhammasami will be celebrating his 50th birthday. Lots of people want to express their gratitude towards him, so he's asked those in his hometown of Laika to mark it by restoring the local hospital. The number of beds will increase to 100 and it will be supplied with modern equipment. Free medical treatment will be available during November and December. In time for his birthday, a new Dhamma hall will be built for the Ho Luai Vihara, the monastery of his home village, as well as a community hall on the land donated by his family. Venerable Dhammasami loves trees, and for his birthday more than 5,000 trees will be planted in Laika. He tells us that first we need to grow trees in our hearts before we can grow them on the land. In this way we can develop a powerful impetus to love and preserve our environment. In Tongi, the Pali conference is yet another way of expressing gratitude towards him. He was the one who revived Pali as an international medium for Theravada Buddhist scholars in 2009. Pali scholars from 9 countries will be coming to celebrate his birthday with their research papers. Likewise, a conference on Shan Buddhist manuscripts will be held in Laika. This is the second time it's taken place and is his brainchild, bringing traditional and modern scholars of this subject together. The manuscripts, called Great Texts or Lik Long, are the main medium through which the Shan people learn the words of the Buddha. He's led such a full life spreading the Dhamma. It's not possible to describe it all, but it is the way he teaches meditation that reflects his wide experience, having practiced with so many different teachers. His flexible and adaptable approach is greatly appreciated in the West, where the Dhamma is spreading at such a rate that there are not nearly enough teachers. When he leaves the Oxford Buddha Vihara, he is greatly missed.